Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this episode, we are going to create this amazing Hovertree animation. I know a lot of you were expecting me to add this functionality on the project that we created some time ago. And if you don't know the project, just navigate to my YouTube channel and you're going to see some videos on how to create JACEKJEZNACH portfolio website. So in these videos, I was supposed to add this functionality, but unfortunately, I was unable to get the solution. So like I promised back then, I said if I see the code that is going to enable us to add this functionality into our project, I'm going to make a video on it. So here we are. We are going to add this functionality into our project. But before that, I'm going to show you the basic setups on how to create this animation effect. So basically, this is just a library. So we are going to get the code from somewhere and we are going to refactor it as well. So after we refactor the code a little bit, we are going to add it into our project. And at the same time, we are going to do it with plain JavaScript, of course. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to do this animation effect with React. Okay, so it's going to give you full control. Either you want to use this with JavaScript or React. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started. All right, so I'll navigate to my Visual Studio Code right here, and here I have a folder called Hovertree, and inside the folder I have two files, the index.html and the index.js file. Okay, HTML and JavaScript file, very simple. And in here I can see, like you're seeing right here, it's very empty, and the index.js file also is empty. Okay, so let me quickly switch this back to HTML template, like so. And what I want you to do now is to navigate to a website. So I'm going to do it, but in your case, I'm going to leave the link to this website in the description below. All right. So when you get to this page, you're going to see the code right here. So I want you to copy everything, like so. Just copy the code from the doc type HTML to the bottom, okay, to the bottom right here. So when you copy the code, navigate back to your HTML file, and in here I want you to paste the code like so, and I'll just format the code a little bit. Okay, so after that I want you to scroll all the way to the bottom. Okay, before we actually do anything, you can view this code in your browser. Okay, so let's try to do that, and just like that you can see this nice Hovertree animation effect. Okay, but you have to know the basic setups, right? So what I'm going to do is to remove some unnecessary things that we don't need, and in order to show you the cool functions that you're going to use to do your functionality. All right, so let me remove all this text and then the tags, and I'll remove this one as well. And right here I'll just add Hovertree animation effect. Okay, so we're also going to remove the audio tag as well, and to simplify this for you, we're going to remove the functions that are inside the script tag. We're going to grab it and paste it inside our JavaScript file. All right, so let's grab everything like so, cut it, and go to your JavaScript file and paste everything right there. All right, so after that is done, back to our index.html file, we're going to link our index.html file to the JavaScript file. So for us to do that, let's create a script tag, and we have our src that is going to link to the index.js file, like so. Okay, when that is done, I think we are good to go. And at the same time, you can change the title, doesn't matter anyway. So inside our JavaScript file, there are some functions that we are going to get rid of. Okay, so let me quickly look for the functions, which is called letters. So basically, we don't need this. I just want you to see the animation effect, and this function, you can just get rid of it like so. Okay, after that is in place, let's view our project in our browser. So I'll just open it like so. And yeah, here we go. So basically, you're not going to see the text because I have removed the function that is going to animate the text one after the other. And now that you have seen the necessary code that is going to enable you to have this functionality, let us try and add this effect on our project that we created some time ago. So to get started, navigate to my GitHub profile. Okay, so when you get to my GitHub profile, go to my repos and scroll all the way to the bottom where you will see the project, which is JACEKJEZNACH complete code. Okay, so I'm going to leave the link to this repo in the description below. Just copy it. So when you get here, I want you to clone the project. Okay, so I'll just copy the repo URL and navigate back to my project. And in here, I'll just clone the project inside this folder. All right, I'll clone the project inside this folder. So what I'm about to do now is to run the command git clone and paste the GitHub URL inside my terminal. All right, so let's go. Yeah, git clone, and I'll paste my GitHub URL like I said. And now that I have my project right here, what I'm about to do is to view this in the browser so that you will know what we're talking about. So I think the cloning is still in process. So okay, it's done. So it's done. And let me also switch the index.html this template back to HTML like so. Okay, so we're going to view this project in the browser to see what we've done in the past, and you can see this is the project, and this is very cool. You can check the video out. And right now we're going to add the Hovertree effect on our project. Okay, we're going to add it here, and for us to actually get started, we already have our JavaScript file like so, and I think basically that is it. So inside the index.js file that we created earlier, we're going to grab the code. Okay, we're just going to copy the code right here. We copy the code, and inside the JACEKJEZNACH complete code folder, we are going to go to the index file that is in there, and at the bottom, just navigate to the bottom, and right here, paste the code right here. And okay, so when that is in place, we are going to grab the script tag that's going to enable us to link to the library. Okay, so this is the script tag. Grab the script tag. Okay, copy it. Okay, we can actually copy it like so, and navigate to the index.html file that is inside our project, and scroll all the way to the bottom, and right after this script tag, so right here, I'm just going to have a comment. And by the way, I don't want Django comments, I want HTML comments. So I'm just going to switch this back to HTML template. Okay, here we are. So this is a comment, and it's going to be Hovertree script tag like so. And now I want to paste the script tag that I just copied right here. Okay, here we go. So now that this thing is in place, we are going to add our canvas tag, which is very, very important. Okay, so without the canvas tag, it's not going to work. Okay, so we're going to scroll all the way to the top, and basically, let me actually find what we are looking for, which is text zone. Okay, so here it is. So after this div, we are going to add our canvas tag. All right, so scroll a little bit down, and this is the div that I'm looking for. And right after this div, I will add my canvas tag like so, and it's going to have the ID of canvas. And basically, this is the same ID that we have right here. All right, so make sure that it is similar. And after the ID, we are also going to add some style, and I will show you the usefulness of this style. And it's going to have a position of absolute, absolute, like so. You're also going to have the left property. It's going to be 0. So basically this is what we're going to have. And if we actually try to view this project inside the browser, we should see what we got. And right now you can see that as I am hovering over the project, it doesn't show us what we were expecting. Okay, this is not what we want. And to get rid of that, I want to show you that the Z index property is very essential right here. Okay, so we're going to add the Z index property, which is going to be equals to -1. Okay, so that the result of this canvas tag is not going to affect our text that we have right here. So if we actually view that again inside the browser, you should see the difference right now. Okay, there's a little bit difference. There's a difference, but it is changing the background of our project, and we don't want that. Okay, so how we can actually solve that is very simple. Navigate to the index.js file, and we are going to look for some canvas method called the fill style. And right here you can see this thing has some kind of RGB color. So instead of adding this type of color, we're going to switch it back to our own color, which is 1D, 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 like so. Okay, and we're also going to do the same thing for this one as well. Okay, we're also going to do the same thing for this one as well. Let's change the color. It is the fill style, and when that is in place, navigate back to our project, refresh, and you can see that now we have what we expect. Okay, so this is our project. It's very simple. It's just a little bit technical. If you don't know how to break some code, you might really find it difficult to achieve this effect. So with that being said, that is our project, and I hope you've learned something from this video. I wish I could find the solution to get this code a long time ago when I was creating this project, and like I promised, I said if I see the solution to the code, I'm going to make a video on how to do it. So basically, I hope this helps you. Now that we've seen how to do the Hovertree animation with plain JavaScript, we are going to do the same thing with React. So that way, it is going to give you full control on how to make use of the animation effect into your project. So with that being said, I have my Visual Studio Code open, and I should run my command npx create React app in order to install a new React application. But instead of doing that, I have a custom React app that is already created, which is in my GitHub repository. So I'll navigate to my GitHub repo, and I will look for the custom React app. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing that is to avoid unnecessary loading time that is going to take 1 minute than expected, because my system is actually very slow. So I'm just going to clone the custom React app project and work with what we want to do right now. So with that being said, I'll navigate to my Visual Studio Code and open my terminal. And in here, I'll navigate to my document and clone the project inside my document folder. All right. So I'll seed into the document folder like so. And right here, I'll run git clone and paste the URL repo. And I'm just going to wait for it, and that way it is done. So if you were supposed to run the command npx create React app, it's going to take way more time. But with this custom React app that I've already created inside my repo, I could just load the application right away. And if I want to upgrade the app, I could also do that. But it is just quicker that way to work with any React app. So what I'm about to do now is to navigate to my document folder, and in here you're going to see the folder that we just cloned. and I'll just drag and drop the folder inside my Visual Studio Code. And now that everything is in place, we need to view the project, the live site on our browser. So I will run the command npm start to spin up the web server, all right? So we're just waiting for the terminal to be ready. And now I can run my command npm start. And let's wait for the web server to be ready. Okay, something is already running on port 3000, and we're going to switch it to 3001, like so, in order to have our project, in order to have the life site of our project. And while this is going on, I could quickly show you what we have inside the folder. Okay, you already know what we have inside the folder if you've been working with React, so I shouldn't bother explaining anything about that. Let's just wait for our web server to be ready in order to see what we got. Okay, now our site is ready, but it's complaining of a file called report web vitals, and I think we don't need it anyway, so we're just going to get rid of it, all right? Or we can just comment it out because we don't need it. If you want, you can delete it, it doesn't matter, and everything should be all right. Okay, now everything is successful, so I just have to view that in my browser to make sure that everything is working as expected. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to get rid of everything that we don't need inside the app.js. Okay, so I'm going to open the file, and right now I'm going to get rid of everything inside the header tag. I'll get rid of everything. And I'll also delete the div, which is called the app. And I'm going to be left with the header and then the class name of app header. I could actually get rid of this one as well because I'm not going to need it. And inside the header tag, I'll have a div. All right, I will have a div. And then inside the div, we'll just have my h1, and then the h1 is going to be Hovertree Animation. Okay, and by the way, let me get rid of the logo because we are not going to use it. And then this one is the CSS file that we're going to use very soon. And right after this div, I want to have my canvas tag. So I'll just go with canvas, and I'm going to give it the ID of canvas, like so. And basically, this is what we're going to have for inside our app component. All right, we're going to have the header, the div that wraps our text, and right below the div, we're going to have our canvas tag. And I will use the opportunity to navigate to the app.css, and right now I will get rid of everything because we don't need all the styles that we have right now. But I'm just going to add a few lines of code here to get rid of the spaces on our page, which is to set the margin, any unnecessary margin that might appear. I'll set it to 0. I'll set the padding to 0 as well, and I will set the box sizing to border box. And this one we probably apply to all the elements on our page. Okay. So now that this one is in place, I'll also add some styles to the body, set the background to 1D, 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 like so. And I'll also set the color to white. This is just to display some text on the web page. And right now, I will select the header tag that we have right here. And what I'm about to do now is to give it some stylings as well. And the first one is the min height. I will set it to 100 pixels. I will set the display property to flex. We have the align items with the center, justify content as well with the center, and I will set the position to relative. Okay, basically this is what I need. And right now, I have to view the results, and this is what we got so far. Okay, so there's no magic right here. This is what we got so far, and let me make sure that this one is well aligned. Okay, the second item that you're seeing here is the canvas tag. So now we have to work with the canvas tag, which is what I'm going to show you right now. Navigate to the website that I showed you earlier. I will also leave the link in the description below. Just navigate to the website, and when you get here, I want you to copy the functions that is inside this script tag. Okay, so it starts from the semicolon and grab it all the way from the bottom. And I just want you to copy the code until you get to window right here. So copy the function and navigate back to your Visual Studio Code. And inside the src folder, I want to create a file which is called Hovertree.js. And inside the file, I'm going to paste the function that I just copied. And don't worry, you're going to see a bunch of errors, but we're going to try and solve the issue right now, okay? So don't worry. So when you do that, I also want you to copy the script tag that is going to enable us to link to the library of Hovertree Animation, okay? So you're going to see the script tag right here. So scroll all the way to the top, and just before the script tag that wraps the function, you're going to see another script tags that links to the library. Okay, so just grab the script tag that we have right here, right after the audio. I'll copy it. Don't worry, I'll make sure that everything is seen as expected. And when you grab that, navigate back to your Visual Studio Code and go to the public folder where you see the index.html. So open the index.html inside your root folder. And I just want to quickly switch this back to HTML templates. Okay, now this is done. So right before the closing tag of the body element, I'm going to paste the script tag right here, okay? And I'll just make sure that everything is well aligned. Okay, now this is the script tag that is going to enable us to link to the library. So now the issue here is how are we going to solve all these errors that we have inside our terminal, because Webpack is going to complain that there are a bunch of errors inside our Hovertree.js file. And for us to solve that, I could see that there are some errors that are unnecessary, okay? Like this one is unnecessary. So we're going to make use of the ESLint effect, okay? So all I just want to do is to disable the no undefined for the entire file, okay? So immediately I click this option, it is going to disable a lot of methods that Webpack is claiming to be an error, all right? So if you look at the top of our JavaScript file, you see ESLint disable no undefined, okay? So even that is done, we still have some kind of errors. And right here, Webpack is stating that we need to use the triple equal operator and not double equal operator. So we have to make sure that we change everything. We have to look for everything and change them as expected. And right here, you can see another error that has been shown, unexpected use of screen. So what we can do is to use ESLint and disable this issue as well. So if I click on it, I'm going to be given the option to disable no restricted globals for the entire file. Just click on it, and the error is going to disappear. And right now, we also have some kind of issues that says unexpected string concatenation of literals. So let's look for the errors and let's make sure that we disable it as well. So we are going to disable no useless concat for the entire file. So this is the work of ESLint. Okay, so if you don't have it installed, make sure that you install the extension. It's very, very, very cool. And when you have that, you will be able to disable all these errors so easily. All right. So now we're still coupling of GUI, and now also disable it like so. Disable no usable for the next line, and pretty much. And right now you can see we have no errors inside our terminal, and I think we are pretty good to go. But before we actually move on, we need to refactor the code a little bit. So for example, there are some functions in here that we are not going to use. For example, the letters ID. So I just quickly look for it. So right now, I'll just comment it out. You can leave it there if you want, but in my case, I'm just going to comment it out. And we have the invocation of the function right here. I'll comment it out as well. And I think that is pretty much what we have to do. And then the next part is to actually view this thing inside the browser. Let's see what we got. So now inside the browser, let's navigate here. And as I'm moving my mouse, it doesn't work. And that is because we're missing something important, something very, very crucial. So to solve that issue, let's navigate back to our app.css. And in here, we have to select the canvas tag with the ID of canvas. If you remember, right here, we give it an ID of canvas. And inside the code block, we're going to set the position to be absolute. We're going to set the left property to be 0. And then the width is going to be 1366. And then I'll set the max width to 100%. And at the same time, I'll set the height of the canvas to 277. And I'll set the Z index to -1. So now let's see what we have. And right now we still didn't see anything. As I'm moving my mouse, we don't have the animation, and that is because we are missing some important thing that we have to add into our project. So which means we are going to add some lines of code in order to make our animation visible. So to get started, I'll navigate to app.js, and the first thing that I'm going to do right here is to import the Hovertree.js. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to import the JavaScript file where we have our function. And now with that alone, I think if we try to view this, let me refresh, and just like that, immediately I over the page, the background changes, and now we have our animation. But what if we don't want the background to change? Well, there's still a way for us to refactor the code in order to change the background of this animation. So what we're going to do now is to navigate back to our Hovertree.js file. And in here, I'm going to look for some canvas method, which is called fill_style. And right now you can see that some RGBA color is being assigned to the method. And right now we can actually remove it, but in my case, I just want it to be the same color with my background color that we have inside the body block. Okay, so we have the background color property, and then the value is being set to the same color that we have right here. And I think we still have the same thing right here. So all we have to do is to change the color, which is 1D, 1D, 1D. You can actually change the color if you want, but this is the color that I want. And now if I try to view the same thing inside our browser, you can see the background doesn't change, and then we have our animation right there, which is so cool. And basically this is just all we had to do in order to have this animation on our project. And this is the end of the project. I hope you really find it helpful. If you do, make sure that you smash that like and the subscribe button and stay updated, and encourage me to create more crazy projects, because right now I can't do much. And basically I'm doing this because I already promised some time ago that I'm going to do it, and finally here we are, and this is the end of the project. Thanks to the person who actually showed me the code, and I hope you actually benefit from this as well. So thank you very much, and have a great day. Keep coding and you will be successful one day.